Hi everyone, welcome back to the class. Today we are going to read the poem No Men Are Foreign. This poem covers various points of similarity between people of different countries. No Men Are Foreign tells us that all the divisions based on nation, caste, color, creed, or religion are baseless, since we all are similar in our basic need of the common resources for our life. And there are differences in races, geography, or language, but we are all the same. We all have a common source of origin, and we all are dependent on the same resources for our survival. The poem, written by James Kirkup, states that no man is foreign or strange, and we should not regard anyone as foreign or strange. The poem revolves around the idea that all men are equal, though they are separated by boundaries. There are boundaries made to separate the countries, but there should be no difference between men of different nations. It also gives us the message of universal brotherhood. We are all citizens of the same world. People of different countries wear different kinds of clothes, but under their different clothing, the human body is the same everywhere. Hating or hurting other people or raising arms against each other only show our narrow mindedness. If we consider the entire world as our family, then we won't treat anybody as a stranger. So let's read about the poet. James Kirkup was an English poet, translator, and travel writer. He wrote about 30 books, including autobiographies, novels, and plays. He was born in UK, in England, on 23rd April 1918. Here are some books which he had written other than the poem: No More Hiroshima's, I of All People, A Spring Journey, The Descent into the Cave, The Prodigal Son. He was educated in the Grey College, Durham University, England. Let's read the first answer. Remember, no men are strange, no country is foreign. Beneath all uniforms, a single body breathes. Like ours, the land our brothers walk upon is earth like this in which we all shall lie. In the first line, the poet says that no men are strange, no country is foreign. So he is trying to remove the borders of the earth, which have been made to separate the different countries. So if there are no borders, no country will be foreign. We will be free to move around. We will feel that every country is our own land. Then he says that inside the uniforms, beneath all uniforms, the uniforms which are worn by soldiers of different countries, the human being is the same. A single body breathes like ours. We all breathe in the same way, and we all walk upon the same Mother Earth as our soldiers. And he says that the soldiers are our brothers, and when we die, we shall lie in the same grave, in the same earth. They too, aware of sun and air and water, are fed by peaceful harvests, by wars, long winter starved. Their hands are ours, and in their lines we read a labor not different from our own. They refers to the people who belong to different countries. Everyone gets sunlight, air, water in equal measure, which means that God has not made any discrimination between us. It is we make the discrimination among ourselves, are fed by peaceful harvest. So we do farming during the time of peace when there is no war, and we live a very relaxed life and we enjoy the things which are given by the nature. But he also says that during war, he is comparing time of war with the winter season. So during the winter season, we starve. Supplies are not adequate for everybody. So we starve during wars and the winter time. It is the same for everybody, not only for us. Even their hands are same as ours, and in their lines we read a labor. They work very hard, just like we do. So he gives these many examples to convey to the reader that there is no difference in us and the people belonging to another country. Here the poet asks the reader to remember something. He says that we should always keep in mind that the people of another country, we sometimes think that they are our enemies. But God has given them eyes like ours that open when awake and close when they are asleep. Similarly, He has given them strength. Then He says that in every country, in every land, there is one common thing. What is that? That is life. And if we recognize them and if we understand others' feelings and realize that they are all like us, then there will be no wars or no fights between us. Let's read this. Let us remember, whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, or condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other. This stanza is not completed. So the poet says here that we should remember that whenever someone tells us to hate a person from another country, and whenever we think someone to be our enemy, we deprive ourselves, we cheat ourselves. Okay, the meaning of dispossess is we we deprive. He says that we should stay away from all such negativity. When we consider a war, both the parties will have to bear the loss, and that is why the poet says that the war is not in our favor. Whenever we pick any weapon, we take any arms against each other, we should remember one thing. What is that one thing? He tells in the next stanza. It is a human earth that we divide. Our hells of fire and dust outrage the innocence of air that is everywhere our own. Remember, no men are foreign and no countries strange. So in the previous stanza, he said that if we take any weapon against someone, we should remember one thing. That is, we make the earth dirty. It is the human earth that is going to be affected. Whenever war happens, it leads to a lot of bloodshed. All the dead bodies accumulate on the earth and it makes the earth very impure. The fire which erupts, the smoke which comes out, that makes the air dirty. The innocence of the air gets spoiled. With all these things, the poet wants to give us the message that we should not indulge in war. Finally, he ends the poem by writing the first line again, but in reverse. He says that, remember, no men are foreign and no country strange. We have to follow the rule of universal brotherhood. We have to treat everybody as our own brothers and sisters. We should not consider any country as a foreign land. We shouldn't consider them as our foreigners. Right. So let's look at the literary devices of this poem. Alliteration. And actually, we don't have the proper rhyme scheme for this poem. This is written in free verse. Alliteration is when the consonant sounds get repeated. You have a single body breaths, which you see in the first stanza. B sound is repeated, or sleep and strength. S sound is repeated here. Metaphor. Behind all uniforms, a single body breathes. This uniform he compares, he talks about the soldiers. War's long, winter starved. So here the winter season is compared with the time of war. So during both the times, there will be deficit of resources. Repetition. The word remember is repeated 5 times in the poem. And you see this line, remember, no men are foreign and no country strange. So this line is repeated twice in the poem. One as the opening line, one as the concluding line. Transferred epithet. What is transferred epithet? It is an ordinary logical attribute generally describing the state of a human being, but it is referred to an inanimate object. Let me give you some examples. Suppose you say sleepless pillow, restless space, or you say merry hours. We have peaceful harvest here. We lead a very peaceful life when there is no war. We do the harvest, we get a lot of crops, we have a plenty of food when there is no war, when there is no winter season. Enchantment is the running lines of poetry from one line to the next without using any kind of punctuation to indicate a stop. So what is the main theme of this poem? It is that we have to follow the code of universal brotherhood. So we have to think that the entire world as a big family. So nobody will be considered as strange. And finally, the poet urges us that we should live in peace and harmony, and we have to do work to spread fraternity all around us. Hope you have understood. Thank you for watching. Thank you all.